Hoy seremos testigos de un nuevo capítulo en la historia de League of Legends. Algún día vuestros hijos preguntarán ¿dónde estabais durante la final de este torneo 1 contra 1?
From 30 players, just 2 are left to compete for the highest honor the human race has or will ever know, the right to call themselves the 1v1 King.
Y en el lado azul y defendiendo al equipo hielo, está acostumbrado a las finales, pero esta quiere ganarla. ¡Sí!
And on the red side for Team Ice, he doesn't need to hunt with the pack to take down his target. It's a Maple! All right, gentlemen, take your positions. Let's have a clean fight.
Let's the battle begin!
No.
Ven aquí, amigo.
Like this.
¡Que comience la batalla!
I felt like they were doing a little fusion dance right there.
Yeah. I thought about us like trying to join it. I was like, no. We can't even get close.
I don't think you understood
We
when
embarrassed ourselves.
on day one we established this. People with the girly voices go.
Oh, I'm very, very well aware. That's why we're on this side.
Ooh, I love the intros though. The swagger walk from Maple as he comes up. I really want to introduce that more in just like 5v5 games instead of just like the badass Korean poses that they do all the time. I want
think
more walk-ins.
For an all-star event, like if every player had their own theme song when they walk down, like wrestling style, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean Faker alluded to it at Worlds, with a tumble here and there, but I want some more creative walk-ons. Although they have been forced in the past as well, and they weren't always as as pretty to watch. Guys, obviously, since we had those players having to walk on stage for the kind of walk-in ceremony, they need some time setting up, so we'll have to fill for a couple of minutes here. But Uzi versus Maple, Kobe, what you thinking?
I mean, this is 100% serious mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kennen obviously has already risen to the top.
Done.
Definitely going to be a ban, I think. And then Uzi, you're going to have to go down the chain of AD carries. Even though he was willing to play a mage, I still think you focus your bans on the AD carries for him.
And that's the problem I have with these establishing AD carry meta. They're also similar in what they do, that they don't really excel at a thing, and they're actually weaker against a lot of mages. And now we've
Except
seen...
for Caitlyn.
Yeah. We see... Okay, you better...
Yeah.
It's not an AD carry, just like a hybrid AD carry trap spawning machine of death. Okay. But you have the Kennen, which is strong, the Ryze, the Syndra, and the LeBlanc. Those are 4 picks that can all single-handedly just beat out AD carry stylistically, no matter which one you pick against them, except Caitlyn. So what are you going to do if you're Uzi? You're so likely to end up playing a mirror matchup on a mage.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to happen. I have to say I was impressed, like I said, with his Syndra play. So it might not be the worst thing in the world. But I do hope for some surprise picks. I don't think we're going to get those at this stage of the tournament, though.
I mean, technically, Ice is 1. There's 2 Ice players in the finals.
That's true.
They could open up for like a fun.
He literally said, "This award means a lot to me. I need to win this 1v1."
Did he say that with the knowledge that Ivern exists? I'm just saying, man. Ivern mirror match.
Ivern would be hilarious. Actually, if they agreed to both play Ivern and then just let their daisies finish duke it out, whichever daisy wins the fight is then crowned the champion.
You can make
I feel like that would be
Yeah, that would be great. You could make a boxing ring with brushes.
Fight, Daisy's fight.
Stop Gollum abuse. Yeah, we're just loading up, guys. 1 more minute should be all it takes for these guys to get ready. I think that would be nice to see. Highly unlikely, but with the fact that Ice has kind of won the tournament, I have higher hopes of still for a creative mirror match. It would be fun to see these guys duke it out on champions we haven't seen yet, because we know how Rise, Kennen operate at this point.
Yeah, and I think these guys, both of them would be open to one of those agreements where they, at least maybe if it goes to a game 3, try and have a mirror match or something. But
they are smiling. Look at Uzi. He's pretty happy today.
He's always happy.
Yeah, he's
okay, not always.
Not always happy.
I've seen him break a keyboard. He's not always happy.
That was Vasily. But yeah.
Vasily broke more than a keyboard, Krepo.
But yeah, Uzi generally happy. And Maple up for 1v1, so I'm crossing my fingers. And if not, we'll still get a really good finals overall. Best of 3.
Yeah. I mean, what it comes down to is both of these guys are very, very good.
At League of Legends.
At League of Legends, yes, exactly.
Both in the 5v5 games and the 1v1s. We're running out of steam here because I feel like we've explained that you level up to 2 on the 7 creep. That minions pushing is important.
You're not working hard enough, Craig. You got to dig deeper, okay?
Find the 1%.
The Krugs are different now. Why don't you start doing about that? Last time I heard you talk about Krugs, they didn't explode into a bunch of little mini dolls of Krugs.
There's no Krugs on this map, man. Makes me sad. There goes half of my casting repertoire. People aren't playing Bard, and Krugs aren't being taken. I'm out. Just like, that's why I become the play-by-play.
Oh no!
That's all I got left.
No! This is not Krepo's meta. We patched him out.
Once we get that final zoom shot, it means the players are ready. Heading into game right now. Picks and bans first, obviously. Rise off the table. Kill and banned out. Who would have thought?
All right, and we're in the game as well. We'll be able to track the skill ups as well as the masteries and runes for both these guys. And yeah, I think, yes, number 1 is probably going to be super serious mode. Maybe we see multiple Kennens. As of right now, they are following that same line of saying, ban the mages against Maple, ban the 80 carries against Uzi. The mage that does get through, I mean, Cassiopeia
as well.
I mean, yeah, whichever one you want to classify Kennen as.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's just a cannon. Varus gets taken off, so 3 of the most played champions for Uzi get taken off the board. It is the closest thing to an 80 carry that is also a mage.
Yeah.
Is the cannon. Maple blocked it in already.
I don't expect Uzi to do any sort of last-minute swap here either, so looks like we will have another chance at the Kennen all-in. And just like they were talking about on the desk, when you're locked in for the all-in at the end, the attack speed buy that Reckless was talking about for the first one definitely did make a difference.
Yeah, not a big fan of the Cutlass, honestly. It feels just so meek.
Yeah. The purchase I definitely like for attack speed, but as far as the runes, I still stand by Smeb for the runes.
Yeah,
the
same.
Attack damage for the marks rather than the attack speed for marks, but Uzi does do a last-minute swap. The only problem is you can't hop out of the way of the W activation, and it's going to be difficult.
But you have strong trading early with Kalista as well. It feels like a really tough matchup. Not worth running Cleanse either, because you just Barrier and Exhaust, such strong summer spells.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You can get, there's a chance that you get multiple summer spells off with a cleanse and one of the Kennen stuns off with the cleanse.
But when you're stunned, Barrier is just
Barrier is
such a
just so much.
spell.
Exactly, the value is 100% there, and you know when the damage is coming. They even smoothed out the Kennen damage for the ultimate to make it easy to predict. So, yeah, he's probably going to stick with that. He does a second to change it, but. Barrier exhaust there.
These guys, the only pod left on stage. They got rid of the other one. 2 players enter. 1 leaves with the title.
And remember, this is also a best of 3. Did not bump it up to best of 5s or anything for the last one.
Yeah, Shocks was joking about a best of 17 1v1.
Jeez.
No thanks.
Let's do an A through Z mirror match. That's honestly the only way to determine who's better holistically at League of Legends 1v1 map. Yeah. A to Z mirror match coming to you soon, next year.
This is where we decide that we do not let Kobe be in charge of All-Stars planning. Uzi 18-0-12 as expected. 27% attack speed. It feels like every game we load up, these guys are just
a little bit more attack speed each time.
1% lifesteal or 1.5% lifesteal, which is basically a quintessence, I believe. Yep.
Yeah. And honestly, that's the other route, right? Instead of taking both armor and magic resist, you say defensive are out. I just load up with attack speed runes, even though they're less efficient.
Maple, 29% attack speed. It feels like it's like a kind of gun show here. Just who can bring the most attack speed to the party.
He, on the other hand, did go with the armor. So he's still sticking with armor yellows there for the flat 9. Obviously, there's not magic damage that he's going to have to worry about there when no support.
Yeah, and there is the argument in a 1v1 trade, is armor better than health? Some people say. I know Freak is very adamant to saying like it's about the health being better, but the problem is if you run armor, you can, or the solution rather, is that you can tank minions much better. And in this 1v1 map, there's going to be a lot of minion damage in these trades. That's why armor is slightly beneficial if you're just looking at 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to get pretty deep on that discussion because the value in the super long trading doesn't cap out for armor, and you're going to get more. Uzi goes in there for the trade, and Maple, happy to take it, does get a bit of the better, but remember, it's all about the minions at this stage in the game.
Yeah, if you're Kalista, obviously you can't proc your Rend from very far. You never want to do it unless you execute a minion, because not only does it extend the range at which all these spears explode, it also gives you the reset whenever you kill a minion. And it's very known, just in case people haven't seen Kalista in a while. So with Eon cooldown, you just lose the 1v1 immediately.
Spears here from Uzi as well, and you can tell Uzi has been one of the guys that has that 215 spawn for the relics down and always plays for it.
Ooh, the Q misses. That would be really close to putting Maple in kill range. This also means that Uzi no longer has E available, because you can see there are no new spears appearing in the creep. So Maple will know exactly when the Rend becomes available again.
Yeah, that's a really good indicator. Plus the fact during that trade he had 3 ranged minions on Uzi, so taking a risk there. He's going to be able to get this wave all the way into turret, but Maple has the potential to pull ahead here.
Yeah, obviously in the longer trades, the only resource that Maple needs to look for is that health. Uzi low on mana as he misses yet another Q. Could be crucial.
Maple gets the level up, goes for the trade.
Gets a stun, double exhaust.
Ignite as well. And once again, Uzi pulls away with an extra summoner. Every single one of these early trades, he's always held on to one extra summoner.
He's so calm in the approach here, just knows the limits of these champions, know that with an exhausted Kennen, all the abilities on cooldown, there's no reason for him to really, play too carelessly. Holds on to the barrier. Now Maple's in trouble, because Uzi got him more mana from that relic, and he's contesting the next relic spawn right now. And he loses.
Rushes for it, takes a huge chunk of damage in exchange, and that's going to be Uzi pushing one more into the turret.
Uzi running low on mana every time he executes as well. I think you need to rend like 2 minions for it to become mana efficient.
Yep, got to get the multiple ones.
It's honestly so satisfying to watch Kalista CS. I just kind of get lost in thought. Forget that I'm actually having to cast this game sometimes.
Counting spears, waiting for the Q to try and run them through.
Yep. I love this harass pattern from Uzi. Always gets a single spear onto Maple, really making those auto attacks worth it, and then resets with the Rend stacks. He's also hitting turret.
Well, definitely don't want them to time out as well. That's one of the worst feelings. If you pre-set them up on the minions, then you finally get your spear in the enemy.
Oh, Uzi's so calm. He doesn't make the mistake of just trying to get the Rend range. He knows exactly when Maple's out of range, and he just keeps the Rend stacks up to get through this minion wave as soon as he can. If he failed that Rend right there, it could have taken him like 5-10 seconds longer to clear through this minion wave. Instead, he just gets the fast base, it pushes in, denies a couple more CS against Maple.
Very large CS lead here for Uzi. See if he, what type of purchase he decides to go with here. Since Maple is so attack speed centric,
it has to be the boots too. It increases your leap range. It's such an efficient item on Kalista because the hops in between are based on boots tier, not which ones you buy. So tier 2 boots give you better hops.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Uzi plays the style where he allows the enemy to be the one to engage, but he's going to then use the enemy's momentum against him, right? He's going to be able to have attack speed boots as well to stay in the fight, stay there toe-to-toe. Level 6 actually for Maple, though. Pretty big spike.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point you bring up there. We have to remember there is no ultimate available for Uzi is just another level up here. He's trying to leverage these minions here.
Yeah.
Maple can't actually auto-attack. Look at his hopping, dodging the skill shots.
Look at Maple's usage of that brush, though. I mean, just every time, microing right back into it, drops the aggro for a second, does take one round of auto there from the minions.
Ooh, good sidestep by Maple into the brush, dodging another Q here. Really vital here. This could be an all-in pop by Maple.
Barrier. Oh!
That was very well played. Sidesteps the Q, realizes that he can actually all in, and again, Kalista no ultimate, but this is still okay for Uzi. He built himself a buffer that he can work with, but right now the CS is suddenly equalized.
Similar story to the last time we saw Maple there. Goes back, the first purchase, right after those Berserker Greaves, really takes over, goes for the all-in, punishes Uzi, and Uzi just has to reload on health potions. Remember, Uzi still should be able to get that CS lead back.
Yep.
Yes, and does. So he still has that minor CS lead, but there's just so much more threat on the Kennen now. He's going to have to wait for the ultimate to come back up, but now it's actually his advantage. Since we talked about the desync summoners, Uzi, you know, talk about, oh, he cautiously holds on to the extra one. Now he's down the barrier, so.
Ooh, I was hoping Uzi would kind of Q through the cannon creep and latch onto Maple right there. Would have been pretty cool. I think Uzi may actually look for turret chip here. Well, going for LCS. Look at his spacing out. Dodges the Q. That's big. That means no stun unless Maple uses E. That was actually really crucial. Because the second the Q's out of the window, the only way Maple stuns is if he connects E. And the problem is if he pops his own lightning rush, Uzi's just going to pop the Ren. Slow him down.
It's completely not worth it to charge lightning rush at Uzi at this point. As he's able to kite back a decent way.
Yeah, with the hops and with the Ren.
Exactly. You take too much on the way in. Pretty good control.
One more auto would generate a stun there. Good disengage by Uzi. Very aware of all these things going on. The position of the wave, the amount of stacks on the Kennen. It turns out Kennen is a pretty broken champion, 1v1. And Maple is still carrying away this win.
Yeah, extremely tight race here. Whew, between the Blood Moon champions. Actually, the third place was Blood Moon as well. Blood Moon Yasuo versus Blood Moon Kennen versus Blood Moon Kalista. Uzi will be able to get the last three. Yeah. Because they only take one hit. Minion shouldn't be able to mess that up. And he comes within striking distance.
64, 66 CS rather. That's a tongue twister. Maple had the advantage.
I'm so hung up on the friends one.
God damn it. Leave it behind, Kobe.
We have spears ready. Oh, I thought he was going to throw the
massive carryover.
Yeah. Because you still, that is another good thing to point out, you know. The spear carryover.
Maple popping the ulti. Good exhaust by Uzi. Carrier is not available.
Has to hop directly backwards, though.
Oh.
Maple now has the minions to tank.
Great hop by Uzi.
So close to running right back into that shuriken, but does not take it. Now he's got a lifesteal backup with the Vamp Scepter. Uzi has the advantage for sustain.
Oh, beautiful Ren execute for double harass here. Maple's looking
he
very pressured.
That one.
Q misses. Uzi in complete control. This Vamp Scepter is really working out.
Maple fumbling a little bit here under pressure.
Look for the spears. Look for the reset. One more auto attack. The minion's going to pop. Maple's going to pop as well. Uzi strong. Barrier comes up. Maple's so close.
Oh, launches it!
Oh, Maple!
Uzi had to back out because the minions, the ranged ones were on him. Maple with the Warlord's lifesteal on the melee there as well. He's got to watch out for the spear.
This low health Warlords is just generating so much. WQ is enough with this turret dropping as well.
All right, back down. He's going to get his recall off.
Yeah, it's going to force an all-in. At this point, there is 20 CS remaining. Uzi could brute force turret here, but it's too little time. Oh, I love watching him CS. His rend is still up after all that.
Yep. All right, this will be the last purchase. Everybody's
yeah, look at him. Look at that smiling.
This is one of those nervous last.
Totally planned that. I totally knew Warlords would keep me alive right there.
All right. Straight back to business for both of them. Maple gonna want him wait on his cooldown for the ultimate. I think he has time. I think he should be able to
sit on this mark.
it.
He's just gonna sit on this mark and pretend that he has ulti. There's no way Uzi's done the
math on timing the exact time for the ultimate. All right, he's gonna get it back up. No summoners for anyone.
If he just needs to sit on the mark, CS with Q, worst case.
Just mano a mano.
He needs to keep this wave here. It's actually honestly a bad job pushing it.
I mean, it is kind of difficult, right? Because Uzi's gonna use the CS lead for, again, the pressure. He wants to make his enemy come to him.
Loving the sweep here as well, revealing Maple, or at least his silhouette, knowing where to plant the Q in the face. Look at he's always diagonally hiding behind the minions in range of the relic spawn. Kobe spawning at the screen.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was waiting to finish on the relic spawn. But the other thing about waiting for the enemy to come to you is that, yes, you are going to be able to CS here under turret, but you can't take that fight now. There are all these extra range minions. Range minions are the ones that build up the most when they're building up these waves. And so that's why Maple here going for a little bit of extra harass, does get some down under the turret, but Uzi even got a nice Ren reset there.
Yeah, he's looking to shift gears here, because obviously if he lets Maple CS first, it doesn't matter. He's
92.
only 5 ahead. 93 right now. He's going to aggressively start going for CS. There's 12 that remain.
It's going to be another wave still.
Maple has ulti.
Oh.
Close to 11 as well. Could be a major breaking point.
Does he have time for the Ignite to come up? The Summoner spells are actually really close too.
No, it's not going to happen. 0 Summoner spells here and a lot of minions. Cannon trade. Look at Uzi just getting the security from the minion.
5 more. 4. 3. Maple has to go for it.
Go. Uzi knows.
He's just kiting him so well. He knows.
Maple has to go for it. He's going to pop the ulti.
2 minions left for Uzi to get. Or 300 health on the get.
Warlords, baby. Get it. Uzi stuck behind enemy lines.
Maple's trying to rush for it. It's Ignite.
Oh!
He hit the minions. Uzi rushed towards the last 2 CS.
That was so close. If Maple gets a stun right there and Uzi doesn't get the CS, he actually wins the all-in.
Definitely the most intense CS victory that we have had, Crepo. I mean, technically this year we've only had 2, so.
And that one was a culling rush, so it is still quite competitive. Whew, that was really fun to watch.
It really was. And he did have time for the Summoner to come back up. Just barely Ignite came up. He would have had him, but Uzi rushed straight for the minion.
Uzi's awareness is just... It's so fun to track players that are this good at League of Legends. Here's the final moments again. It's to this point that Uzi gets, I guess, slightly scared. Maple is trying to working auto attacks for the Warlords, but he's not getting stun stacks.
Watch Uzi though. It's like just on the edge of it. Goes for the... If that...
Yeah,
I mean, no words, right, Crepo? Right? That's just insane.
If that was any less damage, or if he just misclicked on the minion right there, he would be dead, because there was 2 stacks on him and the third was coming.
And the way that he's kiting around the Kennen, he knows exactly what the game plan for Maple is, and he's trying to like play around this angry Kennen that's rushing at him. He just barely kiting out on the outside.
Great Uzi impersonation right there.
That's as good as my acting gets, right? Thank goodness we're not doing the intros.
The intros, the charades. No, that was actually really fun to watch. I hope we get a different matchup in the next game, but I don't see how it's going to happen, because it's just